It's the Paris Chong
So you basically went
Show.
from like shooting and video games to shooting at the police with the police department and now shooting with the camera.
Yeah.
So it's all been about it's kind of had a similar
Those
little
that's consistent thread.
yeah.
It's interesting is that photography has been, I got into. I don't even want to say I got into photography this time, but I started. My parents bought me like this Kodak Easy Share camera. You
Mhm.
remember those things? They were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and they bought me this. I actually went to Northridge, like 20 something minutes from here, 30 with traffic
Yeah.
an hour from here.
Yeah, it's far. It's far today.
Very far.
Very far
So I
away.
went to Northridge and
That's
I ran
cool.
track there, and we were on campus all the
I
time.
heard that's a good school.
It was a really good
Yeah,
school.
someone told me that it's a great school.
It was. I wish I would have actually gone and take. I took a couple art classes while I was there, but I
Yeah,
wish I would have
yeah.
gotten involved. There was a really good program for like photography and photojournalism and broadcasting. I
Yeah.
remember those being big things while I was there, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around any of that at the time. I was doing different forms of art. Um, but yeah, they bought me this little Easy Share camera, and we would just be on campus when everybody else was home for breaks. We
Mhm.
we, we had really short breaks because the track season was all throughout the year, so we always had to come back early from our breaks to train. And I had this camera. I think I was like 19, and it was definitely no like it
Yeah.
wasn't anything you were gonna print and frame, right? But it
Yeah.
was I noticed that I loved to like document people and what we were doing and hanging out. So I'd make these little videos. This is YouTube was just coming around, so it wasn't even like anything you would upload
Yeah.
to
Well, you're on
YouTube.
YouTube on this show.
Yeah, but now, right? But like back then, it was
I'm
all
horrified I'm on YouTube. I mean, I don't know
oh,
if it's good or bad. I'm like, "Oh, it's on YouTube?"
well, that was like the era of
Yeah.
the cat
Yeah.
video was like the only thing
Yeah.
being loaded to YouTube. And so I don't even know why I was taking these videos, or taking these pictures, but I knew I liked to
Yeah.
do it, and so that was not serious photography at the time at
Mhm.
all, which is that's a subjective idea anyway. But I realized that there was something there,
Mhm.
and so I got a little bit more of a serious camera a couple years after that, which is like this Canon G9,
Yeah.
which was a point and shoot Canon, but it had like you could do raw photos on
Mhm.
it. It had these little you could do the exposure triangle on it essentially, right? So I started shooting on that. I maxed that out. Like bought some, they had these lens attachments you could add to it, even though it was a zoom lens. You could add an attachment to it and would change it to a telephoto or it would change it to a wide angle. And then from there, I think it was like 2008, maybe. I got a Canon 40D.
Okay.
My parents gave me this as a gift because they saw that I was loving photography and I needed a more serious camera. And that was it for me. Like I was taking pictures from that point on. I was taking pictures and I was really trying to learn
Yeah.
photography as an art form.
So what's your favorite subject matter to take photos of?
It's hard to say.
I know
I
I love
love
your work. I
just
love what you're
thank
doing.
you.
It is always a little different,
I try. Yeah,
You can see some fine art, some street.
I just life. For me,
Yeah.
the camera is like my journal. I don't write my days out so
Mm-mm.
much, but I always have a camera. I have two cameras on me now, right? Like I always have a camera with me, and what happens is like I can look back at those images and my mind goes directly back to that, right? Like music is like that for me. Like I could hear a song and it transports me right back to a
Oh, I
time,
love music.
right?
I
Like
love
it's
music.
always strange to me when someone
Yeah.
says I don't like music. I'm like, what
I
planet
don't
are you
I don't
from?
yeah, I couldn't be friends with someone
Yeah,
like
I
that.
go,
Like,
yeah.
there's something missing with
It's like
that
it's nice to
person.
meet you. I'm gonna go listen to some
Yeah,
music.
I
You wouldn't
need
be
I have to
interested.
listen to music all the time, every
I love
time.
it.
I wrote my jingle.
Did
But
you?
I wrote and sang my little jingle because I was
Okay.
like, I don't want to. I have to have music on there. But yeah, I love music, and I'm going to see Shaka Khan at the
Oh my
Hollywood Bowl for my
goodness.
birthday. I love Shaka Khan, and I
Who
love
doesn't
I
love Shaka Khan?
again, if someone didn't, can't be your friend. I don't know. I love
Yeah.
Shaka Khan. Yeah, I just music. And it does transport you back to a time, even a bad time. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
when
not
you
always
hear
good,
like
but
that
it
sad song, like there's a song I'll Stand By You by the Pretenders that always reminds me of when my mom was dying, and I could even cry
yeah.
thinking about it because it just reminded me of it. That's what was out at the time. And every time I hear it, I lose my mind and
It's
start
it's
crying.
so
I could cry right
music is
now.
so engaging that way. I have a similar experience from when my younger sister passed from
Oh,
cancer, and it was just like there was an album that was out at the
mhm.
time, and it's I love the album. It's beautiful, but it like connects me right to that. Or there's,
Yeah.
there's the Healer by Erykah Badu,
Oh, yeah.
and she premiered that song. I want to say the first time she played it was at the Concord Pavilion, I think we were in. And
Oh,
or wait,
Concord.
was it Concord? No, I'm sorry, maybe it was the amphitheater. I can't remember
I love
exactly.
that theater.
But me and my sister, my mom made us go to this concert together.
Yeah.
And not that we didn't want to go together, but it's
Yeah.
just like my mom was like, "You guys got to go." I
Stick
think she had
together.
extra tickets or something like that. And so me and my sister go, and I just remember like it's one of the last songs that played. We're on this beautiful like grassy hill. The sun is going down, and this song comes on, and it was like a big portion of the song is um, paying her respects to Jay Dilla, who had passed away some years before
Mhm.
that. And so I have this experience, like one of my favorite songs of all time. The first time I heard it was live with Erykah Badu playing it
Yeah.
with my sister. And so then you fast forward to many years later, and my sister is passing, she's dying, and
Oh,
we're all, or my whole family is
horrible.
there, and that song like brings me back. So anytime that song comes on,
Yeah.
it has changed for me, obviously, since she's passed, but it's deeply emotional. It takes me back to two places.
Mhm.
Takes me back to her deathbed, but it also takes me back to this memory that I'm glad, like this
There was
place
good
that we
and
weren't
bad.
even gonna
Oh,
go together, that became such a
I
magical
didn't
like
know your
moment.
sister died. That's so
Yeah,
sad.
yeah,
I'm
she
so
passed
sorry.
of breast cancer
Mm.
at
I hate cancer.
30. She was gonna be
Oh,
33. Yeah,
God, I remember you telling me this. I'm so sorry. Yeah, my mom passed away. She was only 54, and I hate cancer. I just hate it. I hate
cancer's
it. I hate
tough.
it. We need to do a cancer charity thing
Cancer is
soon.
tough. Like we all, it's hard
It's
to know
awful.
anyone who has not had their lives like impacted by cancer, and so yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of photography. As I was thinking about, I think what has always attracted me to it is like recognizing that these moments aren't forever.
Yeah,
These
they're
people aren't
not.
forever. Right. So like photography is I was talking to a group of friends, but it's like a visual obituary.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
It's a memorial. Everything we photograph is actually a memorial of something. And I was thinking about that one day because I was looking through my photos of like, and there was, oh, this building is gone. They got rid of,
Yeah,
they
no, I love
built it.
looking at vintage photos of things
Yeah.
that aren't there anymore. That's so amazing. That's like one of my favorite things. But it's funny when talking about music, and it's weird because radio music, everything's so connected. But when I was a kid, there was the one funk station in Las Vegas because everybody else was listening to Styx and Journey
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And my sisters and I were listening to like Prince and Confunction and Lakeside and all this
And
other
see,
stuff. So
Prince has got that
yeah,
deep
no,
Oakland
I so
connection,
we so there was they used to do those competitions to win tickets to go to see the concerts at the Aladdin Theater, and they'll be like, we'll take the 21st caller to win tickets to the Commodores, Sister Sledge, and DeBarge. And I'm like calling and calling. They're like, you're the 21st caller. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? When they're like, what's your name? I'm like, Paris. And what school do you go to? Oh, junior high. And so I won tickets, and my mom took my sister and I, dropped us off. And then again, they had another competition like a year later, was to see Lakeside, Confunction, and I forgot who else the
And
other
you were
band.
on it.
And I won
Making that go,
again. I
oh
won
my goodness.
twice in a
You're like,
year.
Paris again?
I'm like, it's me again, Paris,
That's such a
or junior
bygone thing
high.
too, though. Like, right?
Yeah,
Like, I we're trying having to listen to the radio
I
to
know.
listen to your favorite
Yeah, and
songs,
I
or
won twice. So even till this day, if I hear something, there's a competition, I think I still can win. But yeah, I got to win twice,
that's
and so I
super
love
awesome. Yeah,
music. Yeah, and then I actually went to take broadcast journalism classes at SMC, and before I
nice.
even got out of the class, I was already on the radio. So this is like full circle for
Yeah,
me to
that's
be doing this
amazing.
again, and then being able to talk to people about art.
It's the Paris Chong Show.